foul. 21, Lydia Andrews, her third, team fifth. Cougar foul, number 10, Sydney Freeman, her third, team sixth. Oak Hill foul, 33, Adriana Drexler, her second, team fifth. Rebound bucket.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The path to the state championship is a long and winding road, and one of these teams is one step away from heading to Indianapolis. It's Penn and Kokomo. Starting lineups, the tip, next.
Doc's Smokehouse, located at 1420 Calumet Avenue in Dyer, is the place to go for the best Southern-style barbecue in Northwest Indiana. Choose from hickory smoked brisket, pork, ribs, sausage, turkey, chicken, and wings for your main plate. Or maybe pick a couple. Don't forget the sides: potato salad, Bacardi beans, collard greens, and mac and cheese to complement your meat choice. Visit docsbarbecue.net for more information on specials and restaurant hours.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Matt's one-car, two-bedroom apartment with a home office/home gym insurance. We're good at Nick's SUV and farmhouse with a remodeled kitchen/art gallery insurance.
And we're good at the Wilbur suburban home with the two-car garage/rehearsal space insurance. Have you seen my hockey socks?
Have you checked your sock drawer?
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Did you know this isn't the first Hammond Central High School in Hammond, and that the Green Bay Packers play the NFL Hammond Pros in Harrison Park? These and other amazing details, plus 164 photos, are in Curtis Vosty's new history book, Hammond, published this week by Arcadian Publishing. Vosty's a longtime Hammond resident, journalist, former park official, and attorney. Vosty will be signing copies of his book and Miles' books next Saturday, March 25th between 11 and 3:30 p.m.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
Michigan City High School is the scene. And the 4A semi-state on the line between Penn and Kokomo. The Kingsmen and the Wildcats here tonight for the right to head to Indianapolis next week. Alongside Coach Tim Fedler, I'm Sam Michael. Tim, both of these teams really not challenged this morning and early afternoon. And Penn and Kokomo an opportunity to sort of coast into this game. But this game will not be that way. Whoever wins tonight is going to earn it between these two. Stars on both sides. Marcus Burton for Penn and Flory Badunga on the side of Kokomo, and we expect a good one.
Yeah, Division I talent, as you alluded to, both guys, one for each team, but it comes from different ways. Flory Badunga, the big 6'10" center, he's going to position himself inside the paint and look to cause havoc. Interesting to see how Penn decides to defend that. They got some size themselves with Gatetti and with Durda. A couple different options. One, maybe just let Badunga get his. Let him go off for 30, 35 points, and Penn thinks they can put 80 on the board, which is their average on the season. Just make sure they shut down everybody else. I also like the possibility of putting either Gatetti or Durda in front, putting the other one behind. Those guys are very long. And then with those very good guards of Penn, talking about Garwood, Burton, Joe Smith, have them pressure the Kokomo guards enough, get them on their heels as to where they can't make a strong post entry. And then with the size that Penn can throw at him, that can make life a little more difficult for them. We'll see how how Kokomo defends Penn as well. We were talking this morning, pressuring those guards to take away the three-point shooter, force them to drive to the basket, kind of feeding them right into the big Badunga where he can sit there and wreak havoc inside.
Officials in this one, Christian Flores, Deion Smith, Kevin Brown. We'll have a good one to determine what is a foul, treble, etc. A tough game for these guys to work today. Hardiman wide open on a three-point attempt. Badunga inside. Durda has it for Penn.
It was man-to-man coverage right there. Durda was cutting them in half, and they were really dropping a weak side helper behind.
Burton was trying to get going early. Burton with the same starters we saw earlier. Smith, Josh Gatetti, and Dylan Durda for Al Rhodes. John Peckinpah, Reese Bird, Xavion Bellamy, Patrick Hardiman, Badunga, and Shane Spear. First buckets, the big man, the jam.
Yeah, again, it's Badunga was being cut in half by Durda. That means got a hand and foot in front, hand and foot behind. Weak side help from Burton just came a little too slow on an excellent pass.
Step back for Burton. He's missed his first two attempts. And Flory Badunga is doing some good work inside so far. Open in the corner is Beard. Not his game necessarily. 30% from downtown. Spear can really stroke it from deep, and it's 5-0.
Interesting matchup here. It's going to be Hardiman guarding Burton. And we'll see how they decide to handle these guards, as Penn's going to have to run some half-court sets here. And again, they're going to get a high screen and roll, trying to get Badunga out on the perimeter. And Smith just couldn't finish.
They've gotten some pretty good looks so far, but as you said, haven't been able to score it. Badunga inside, had it partially blocked, and now a foul.
Yeah, I thought Badunga got fouled there from behind initially. They didn't call it, and then on the offensive rebound, he'll head to the free throw line.
Fouls on Joey Garwood, who had a big game in game number one. in a 108-70 win against Hammond Central. And that just happened. Oh, timeout. Okay. Timeout taken by Al Rhodes. It's a 30-second timeout. Kokomo off to a great start here in this one. And we'll see a couple of free throws coming up from Flory Badunga in just a second. I was talking with one of the Kokomo broadcasters before he came by, and he was asking some questions about Penn, and he gave me some nuggets, too, about Kokomo. I did not know this. Flory Badunga, it's only the second year of his life that he's ever played basketball indoors. He's from the Democratic Republic of Congo, of course, and was adopted and came here in some fashion. I think he was adopted, I'm pretty sure. And he's here now in Kokomo, Indiana, and used to playing basketball outdoors on the old school style hoops you see. And, you know, like we have here in Indiana, the idea of a barn and a hoop on the side of it. That's a little bit different, though, than they have in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Not sure what the conversation is about here. Badunga at the free throw line, ready to have a couple of shots. He should have two here. And as we said, he has not shot the ball great from the charity stripe on the season, but he was great in the second half. This is his first.
Yeah, this morning in the second half, went to the free throw line quite often and stepped up and made the shots as he misses the first one here. And if he cannot convert from the free throw line in this game, we'll see if Penn decides to try to put him there time and time again.
Good start for the Wildcats, up 6-0. And Penn, of course, trying to get Marcus Burton going. He's had two pretty good looks. Back cut here, gets to the rim, goes right at Badunga.
Yeah, he has Hardiman right in his face, trying to defend him the ball in the perimeter. Good read by Burton to slip right to the basket.
Spear is really the best three-point shooter on this Kokomo team. Hardiman, Bellamy, and Beard don't love to shoot it. They will if they're wide open. That's a reach-in foul on Marcus Burton. Got a little too aggressive. And he picks up his first.
And there wasn't much there, but just enough to got his hand on the ball. Or got his hand on his arm, excuse me.
And down here for Xavion Bellamy. His brother.
Yeah, look for that lob to the basket. He likes to spin. Badunga waits very patiently for the lane to open up, and he'll spin, and they'll get that lob in. We saw that executed with the dunk early in the game, early this morning.
And it was going to be a dunk if Marcus Burton didn't get a hand on the basketball. Fakes the handoff, explodes to the rim, and no call there. Numbers now for the Kingsmen. It's led by Joe Smith. No call as he went to make the pass. Up ahead, Badunga can't settle, and it's turned back over.
Joe Smith very upset as he's talking to the official right now at the other end of the floor. A lot of contact as he was going to the basket. Hectic last 15 seconds or so by both teams.
Marcus Burton, they lost Gatete inside on a shot fake and a bucket.
And a good job there. He got Badunga in the air and was able just to step right inside and make a layup.
4-0 run for Penn has brought this game back within a single possession. Hardiman gives to Bellamy. Xavion's brother Zion, I was told, the sophomore had shoulder surgery, not available after the middle portion of the season. Marcus Burton a chance to tie or take the lead with the three. Skips into the lane, rejected. Badunga swats it away, and now Garwood takes it right back. Steps into a three for the lead, you bet.
That's what Garwood does so well. Got to get him going from the outside because Burton just showed how difficult it's going to be getting anything at the rim against this Kokomo team.
Garwood was stroking it from downtown this morning against Hammond Central in the 12 o'clock game. He made 4 of them from the outside. That is aggressive. Gatete thought most days he's probably going up to get that because it's too high for everybody else, but not Flory Badunga. And a foul on the Penn big guy inside. That's two guys, if you're on roads, you got to keep on the floor. Gatete and Durda. They've got to match up Badunga. Inside is Hardiman, way too strong. Penn in the midst of a 7-0 run. Beard, great play to keep it in. Here's Spear with numbers. Explodes to the rim. Had it knocked out of his hands by Smith. Smith up ahead for Durda. Durda waits inside, and it's a 9-0 run for the Kingsmen.
Way to run the floor by Durda. Good job finishing with Badunga nearby. That's what Penn needs to do. They need to get out and run, get the big man running up and down the floor, try to get him gassed.
Spear across, Hardiman, a three. Trying to answer, does. Stops the run, ties the game. And a timeout coming here for John Peckinpah. Good one, Bruin. You don't want to go anywhere. This will be wire to wire all night.
Okay, a little dramatic, but it's really hard to count the ways you can pay, but it's easy to make the ways you pay count. Sentier Connect links your Sentier checking and savings accounts. So the more you use your debit card, however you use your debit card, the higher the interest rate you receive on the funds in your savings account. Begin a better way to save. Sentier Bank.
Good one here so far. 9-9 score with 3.5 to play in this first quarter. And it's been a game of runs so far, Tim. It was 6-0 to start, then 9 straight by Penn. Now a 3 has changed it, and Marcus Burton has put the Kingsmen back on top.
Well, now Kokomo needs to focus on getting the ball inside the Badunga. They got to run some type of set. You see him get a screen roll here and get a dive. Too often they run this 4-out offense, and they got Badunga on the opposite block. I would almost demand to get him a touch every time down the floor.
We remind you that this 2023 boys basketball semi-state round on the IHSA Champions Network is presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Jed TV here to bring you this broadcast and what we expect to be just like we've seen for the first 5 minutes. Great back and forth. Two pretty even basketball teams. Shane Spear. Off for Hardiman. No driving lanes. Spear's already got a 3. Had a couple of them in game 1 this morning. Go inside to Badunga. Bellamy had it stripped away. Here comes Marcus Burton. Burton on the cross. Dances down the lane. Dished it off. Durda couldn't handle it. Baseball pass ahead for Beard. Beard with the left.
And again, that's Badunga. His presence down low causing Burton to alter his shot, and that started the fast break for Kokomo.
A lot of attention paid to Marcus Burton. The floater, window, and the lead again.
I believe that may have been a 2-3 zone out of Kokomo. First time we would have seen that today if I saw that correctly. Great job splitting that down the lane.
Spear, drive and kick, Hardiman 3. Badunga, tip back, wouldn't go this first time, and second time was the charm for big number 40.
Keeping him off the glass is going to be a battle all day. You just got to try to get position, push him as far back as possible.
Shot missed by Gatete, but an offensive rebound by Garwood. Popped right to Burton. Burton, really tough shot. God, he's so good at hanging in the lane is the Notre Dame commit.
And that's, I think, what you need to see a lot out of him today. Getting into the lane and pulling up in the 10 to 12 foot mark before you get to the basket where Badunga is going to be looming. So you may not see him getting to the basket as much today, but if he can knock down that mid-range shot, Penn should be okay.
Bellamy trying to create off the bounce. Gatete the rebound. Final minute of this first quarter. Marcus Burton working against, looks like a matchup zone at the very least, paying a lot of attention out high. Extending to some man principles as well.
Yeah, it's almost like an extended box in one, but more of a diamond shape.
That jump shot of Marcus Burton just so soft and gets so much air under it. He can elevate over taller players even. Something that will help him at the next level. It's given Penn a 4-point lead, make it 2. Another dunk for Flory Badunga.
Almost like to see these posts, whether it's Dirt or Gatete, just straight up front him. They are long enough, putting their hands in the air, bring someone else from behind. He's doing a good job, is Badunga, getting position when you're cutting him in half.
Burton didn't get to the rim, and that's how the first quarter comes to an end. Good one in frame number 1. 17-15 Wildcats. Second quarter next.
Inspired by touch, by play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
2-point lead for Penn after 1 quarter of play. A reminder, this broadcast is copyrighted by the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast, any pictures, video, and audio without the express written consent of the IHSAA is prohibited. Good opening quarter, Tim. These two teams, you can see kind of both different styles, but they've been able to do what they want for the most part on offense.
Yeah, both teams pretty much getting what they want, like you said. Offensively, Kokomo doing a good job of getting the ball inside with all the attention being paid to Badunga, and it's been this guy right here. It's been the stars being the stars, but that's been the struggle for Burton, getting all the way to the basket. His success has been pulling up at about the 10 to 12 foot mark. Not many guys are going to have much success going in against him.
And a big game with the block statistic in game number 1. He's had a good start to this semi-state championship. That's a travel, wipe it out.
Much difficult for Penn in the second game today than in the first game. The scoring, little down, but that typically is the case. These game twos in the same day are typically much lower scoring. In some cases, they're not played as well as the earlier games. Teams are a little gassed, not used to playing 2 games in one day. Maybe they do it around the holidays. But other than that, it's just a new experience for a lot of guys.
Badunga wanted to set the screen. Smith did a nice job to get around it. Spear was counting on turning the corner. Almost had a steal now. Spear on the back down against Bonner. Fades over top. Badunga gathers it away and scores.
Again, that's the challenge. How you keep that guy off the boards. You got to try to get early position and just do the best you can to drive him as far out of there as possible.
Bonner, who just made a shot from outside that didn't count because he traveled first. Thought about that one. Burton, I think he was going to shoot that, then got in the air. Bonner this time hesitating, and the Kokomo folks love it. Smith on the back down. Gives to Gatete. Bonner in the corner. This one's a 3. Badunga the rebound.
Kokomo just looks to be playing a straight man-to-man defense with 3 guys, and then there's no helping on Garwood and no helping on Burton.
Badunga misses from close range. Good job by Gatete, as you said, and just trying to stay in front of him, make it difficult.
They got the length to do that. If you just keep them in front, put your arms in the air, as you say, someone is down on the ground for a Penn, and
foul off the ball.
Dominic Bonner got shoved to the ground underneath the basket. That'll be the first foul of the ball game against Kokomo here early in the second quarter.
Reese Beard is the guilty party. And Beard and Hardiman, Burton and Smith. Officials, again, Christian Flores, Deion Smith, Kevin Brown. That's Kevin Brown who trying to make sure that nothing extra is happening. It didn't look like Al Rhodes was satisfied. Burton elevates on a three. That's a deep one for Marcus Burton.
With a hand in his face the entire time from Patrick Hardiman, Burton not fazed.
He's given Penn back the lead. Here's Spear. Saw the lane open. Getsetse waiting for him. Hardiman trying to answer and does.
Just a 20% three-point shooter is Patrick Hardiman. You saw this morning Fort Wayne was allowing him to shoot it. Great take by Burton, initiating the contact, and that allowed him to get that shot up and off the rim.
That's a moving screen.
Yep.
Hardiman rubbed with his right shoulder and the turnover.
Yeah, just blasted him right in the back there.
I'll tell you what, we said it all throughout the morning, but I've been so impressed, and I hope it is a return back to what we were so used to for a long time, which was a lot of folks in the seats, regular season, and then obviously everybody amps up for the postseason, but crowds we saw at the sectional, we covered the regional here last week and all day today. Makes our job a lot more fun. You know, that's all that really matters.
Absolutely.
It's what happens for us, but I know the players and the coaches love it too. Bonner kicks. Getsetse saw that baseline close quickly. Hardiman a heck of a job trying to keep Burton in front of him. Burton has a whole bag of tricks. Hardiman wins this one.
Well, that time Burton drew three guys. He tried to dribble between the triple team. Something he can do, but just lost control of it that time.
Bellamy runs through him, and that is a blocking foul. And Joe Smith didn't get in position according to the officials.
No, and it looks like Smith was backpedaling there. So if you're looking whether or not he got in position, got his feet set, probably the good call. But was there a push-off which would negate whether or not getting your feet set or not?
Timeout, Al Rhodes, Penn by 2.
Pacers love playing here at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
This iconic venue in the heart of Indianapolis is a shrine to basketball.
Al Rhodes has burned a couple of timeouts as we welcome you back to the 2023 Boys Basketball Semi-State Round on the IGSA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Jed TV. It's Kokomo basketball out of bounds. Badunga the lob, settles, and James plus the foul.
That's the same play we saw earlier, but on the other side of the floor, the other side of the hoop. Badunga just waits for the lane to clear out, rolls to the basket. That time the lob wasn't there to come down with it in the air. He goes to the ground and then goes up with the finish and is able to get to the free throw line.
Trying to finish off the three-point play now is Flory Badunga. And it would put Kokomo back on top if he does. They stay tied.
And again, the answer might not be stopping Badunga at all. It might be just outscoring him. Try to contain everybody else. He's going to get his. He averages 20 a game. Let him get 30 if you feel you could just score enough on the other end. As Garwood steps through and goes high off the glass.
These two teams just trading blows.
Excuse me, that was Burton. I said Garwood.
He's giving them back a 2-point lead. Bellamy saved the basketball. Got it back from Getsetse as well. And then a good hustle play from Smith. Able to get it back for Penn. Burton one-on-one on a step back. That's a three. Garwood worked like a pass for him.
Garwood's so smooth, such an excellent shooter. He can make it from deep, and he can knock down that mid-range shot as well, which really expands his game.
Bidunga inside, and Marcus Burton.
The only thing, smart play, but that's now 2 fouls on Marcus Burton. That would be the only concerning part there.
Yeah, at that point, you're probably just better off giving him the basket. Just step out of the way and say, all right, big man, don't put me on the poster. Hopefully they frame the shot high so nobody sees me under here.
Yeah, if you're going to foul him, do it when he's going up, put him at the free throw line. They try that same play again where Bidunga spins around to the basket, but there was nothing there. They probably should have chose option number 2.
Yeah, they run basically every out of bounds to Bidunga. And against most teams, he's just 5, 6, 7 inches taller. Here he's only got a couple on Gatete inside. Good matchup for him. One-on-one here from the short corner. Hardiman's made a three. Bellamy, dangerous there, as it will stay correctly with Kokomo. It was touched by Burton.
These guards on Penn are so quick that they're able to dive down and give help on the big man and then recover in enough time on the shooters of Kokomo.
Shane Spear will inbound. Will play football next year at Findlay. Hoping his basketball career goes one more game. Here's a bucket from Xavion Bellamy. Same thing for him, the senior. Averaging 8 points a game, brings him within 2.
We were talking about Spear this morning, looking like a football player. Did you get a position?
Fullback, I think they said. I'm pretty
Looks
sure.
about right.
Yeah. Wide open for 3. All over the rim and out for Trey Miller. Just came off the bench a few moments ago. Spear gets into the lane and ties the game.
Great job there by Spear using his body. Trey Miller, a guy that did not get a whole lot of play this morning. He's out there much earlier in this ball game than he was in game number 1.
Burton so shifty between defenders, but had it poked away. Here comes Bellamy. Beard on the trail, on a 3, and the lead.
Just a 30% free throw shooter for Reese Beard. It's always nice to get one from guys like that who maybe you aren't expecting to, especially in a game like this, which may be a one-possession ball game. And now we're going to get an illegal screen. Giving the ball right back to Kokomo. See if they can get on a little run and build a lead here heading into the half.
Dylan Durda will return for Al Rhodes as Trey Miller just in for a few moments. Had a great look on a 3. Spot he's normally lights out, 41%.
And you're starting to see a few more guys shuffled in and out in this game, too. They just played the game a few hours ago. You see Garwood is currently on the bench right now. He played the entire game this afternoon, getting Mookie Ward out there on the floor, another guy who did not play much this morning. These are the kind of adjustments you need to make in game number 2. Kokomo, a lot less substitutions, still have their starters out there.
Offensive foul. Beard made the right pass, but Joe Smith stepped in front to take the charge as he left his feet to make that pass to the outside.
Joe Smith, a guy who's always on the floor. He's always looking to step in there, sacrifice his body to take a charge, do whatever's necessary. Very tough, hard-nosed player.
Officials trying to get the floor cleaned off here.
Minute 34 to go. We'll see what Penn decides to do here. And they've been doing a good job of attacking at the mid-range area. Have not got going too much on the outside right now. Kokomo doing a good job of taking away the 3. Does look like the officials are going to ask somebody to leave from the Penn student section.
.130 remaining before halftime. Good back and forth game. Kokomo has a 3-point lead. Burton surrounded near the free throw line. Finds Smith, able to hold the pivot. Dangerous and sloppy possession for Penn here.
This pressure defense, by Kokomo. Active hands causing havoc. It's right there. Bellamy gets his hands on the ball, but had to reach around Smith to do so.
Only the 4th team foul against Kokomo. We've only had now 11 fouls called in this first half. Officials have done a good job of getting what they need to get, letting these guys make plays. 1 minute left now in this opening half. There's Smith. It's been in the hands of Burton for the most part. Smith explodes to the rim. Durda, and a whistle off that shot fake, and I think they got Beard for a foul. And they did. That's his 3rd foul, excuse me.
Yeah, 3rd on Beard, so they're going to have to go a little deeper into the bench. You see number 23, Kirby, coming to the ball game for Kokomo. I don't think he got a whole lot of play this morning. Little surprised you're not getting Garwood back on the floor right now, at least for this offensive possession.
Durda from the elbow. Too strong. Fight for the rebound. And Spear had it. And if that's on Burton, that's his 3rd foul. Well, if you're John Peckinpah, you're probably not very happy that Reese Beard got his 3rd, but no offense to Reese, you might take the trade-off with Marcus Burton now picking up personal number 3.
And that's where if you're Burton and you're Penn, you'd like to have that one back when he was caught underneath the basket guarding Badunga, and he had to wrap him up as soon as Badunga caught the ball. If he had to do that over again, as you alluded to, he would have just stepped aside and gave up the basket there. So now he has to go to the bench with 3 fouls. He'll be back in at the start of the 3rd quarter. But if he picks up his 4th early in the second half, he'll be sitting probably till sometime early to mid-4th.
I think Shane Spear might have some blood on his left arm, it looks like. They're asking it to be wrapped up and taped so he can walk back out here and shoot these free throws. He's a 61% free throw shooter. And he's a football player like we said, so, a little blood never bothered him.
We haven't had a score in about over a minute of this ball game. We're talking about a Penn Kingsman team that scored, was it 108 points this morning?
That's correct.
So well below that average, but that's typically going to happen, as I said earlier, in game number 2 in this type of format.
Nice job by Hardiman to squeeze in around Mookie Ward there to get that offensive rebound. Spear now, they leave the ball handler. A good check out inside by Durda. Final 30 seconds. We'll see if Al Rhodes wants the final shot.
Yeah, without Burton on the floor, maybe he just wants to take this thing down, get a shot for Garwood, and get into the half, maybe tied.
They whip it inside. Durda backs in, leans on Badunga, had it rejected.
Yeah, he's not afraid to go in there and take it up against the big guy. Spun right into him, though. Like to see a little step through, try and do a better job getting Badunga in the air.
4 seconds. Hardiman, a 3, left wing. And that is an air ball. And a final play of this opening half. Good first half of play. Kokomo and Penn. Wildcats on top by 3.
Okay, a little dramatic, but it's really hard to count the ways you can pay, but it's easy to make the ways you pay count. Sentier Connect links your Sentier checking and savings accounts. So the more you use your debit card, however you use your debit card, the higher the interest rate you receive on the funds in your savings account. Begin a better way to save. Sentier Bank.
The goal isn't graduation day. It's a better every day after. It's the first day in your new career. Your first pay raise. The 5th day of that week-long vacation. It's the first paid holiday home with your family. Or the day of your last car loan payment. Much sooner than you thought. At Ivy Tech Community College, we don't just care about your degree. We care about your life. Let's get started at ivytech.edu.
Doc's Smokehouse, located at 1420 Calumet Avenue in Dyer, is the place to go for the best Southern-style barbecue in Northwest Indiana. Choose from hickory smoked brisket, pork, ribs, sausage, turkey, chicken, and wings for your main plate. Or maybe pick a couple. Don't forget the sides: potato salad, Bacardi beans, collard greens, and mac and cheese to complement your meat choice. Visit docsbarbecue.net for more information on specials and restaurant hours.
Underneath by Engsler. Oh, knocks down a three. And heading right to the rim. Fifth with the smooth reverse. That was beautiful. Mitchell launches and hits a three. Elsie Mitchell is locked in. Indiana's relentless attack continues.
Inspired by touch. By play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
The benefits of choosing a career in the union construction industry are truly limitless.
Some of the things that I've worked on that I'm extremely proud of are some of the pipe racks that we just built for Eli Lilly.
Yeah, there's a lot of different avenues to grow and to advance in your career.
If you're a senior and college isn't for you, in the trades there's so many opportunities. You get to work with your hands, you get trained for free, and the options are unlimited. You can do so many different things with this career.
Well, I don't know what's happening anymore.
That's the best. That's the best way to come back. Just well.
Folks, this is why you go to games in person. I mean,
one, so you don't have to listen to us.
Yeah, well, that's number one. Goes without saying. But I mean, how can you tell yourself that you missed out on this kind of entertainment? Special stuff. I don't know what any of those three things. That's a whale, I believe.
LeBronco James.
Is that what it really says?
I just picked up on that.
They're still going. I thought they were done 5 minutes ago.
I don't get the. Is that Whale Gretzky? I just saw that as well.
Oh, good one. You're gonna.
Wow.
Dennis Rodman, Frogman. Dennis Frogman.
Okay.
They've got a whole deal going on here. They've got a routine and everything.
Dennis was having a hard time getting up, and nobody seemed to care to walk out there and lend them a hand.
He was battling. Yeah. Oh, he's got the hair. I just noticed the Rodman hair.
Right. It all makes sense now after I'm able to pick up the names.
This is intricate stuff, folks.
This is better than any analysis we can give you.
Yeah, so
we're going to focus on this.
What happened in the first half again? What do we got here? You see the score. Kokomo, Penn, back and forth. As we talked about, both teams really did what they wanted.
Right.
As far as Badunga inside and then Burton off the bounce.
Yeah, offensively, both teams are getting what they want, and not that both coaches had the same game plan in terms of let the stars get theirs and try to take away everyone else, but that's kind of the way it's played out. I know Penn is trying with Badunga inside to bring 2-3 guys. You know, I'm a little surprised they just have Gatete for the most part, cutting him in half. You know, they got the length.
Oh, my God.
I'm trying to stay focused here.
I mean, this is one of the single most unbelievable things I've ever witnessed at a halftime performance.
Oh.
You know, we can't go to break. I'd love to know who is in here at this point. Who's doing this? It's pretty impressive.
What was I saying?
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter.
I hit a wall when that guy Dennis Frogman, ripped his shirt off. It's a good thing. Oh, the Whale guy here, Whale Gretzky. Look at this. He's doing the worm. Baseline to baseline. I mean, these are some high-skilled performers, Tim. You know, they have at IU games and in the Big Ten tournament, too, right. They had the Red Panda. Have you ever heard of her?
I don't know if I have or not. No.
Yeah, she balances.
Is it
like
the plates?
Crazy plates. And
okay,
stuff.
yeah, I have. Yeah.
Well, that's a great halftime show.
Hope you enjoyed that analysis and are ready for the second half.
Yeah, it's going to be a great second half as much as we kid. Ben and Kokomo, half number 2 after this.
Pacers love playing here at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
This iconic venue in the heart of Indianapolis is a shrine to basketball.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance.
We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance.
And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Did you know this isn't the first Hammond Central High School in Hammond, and that the Green Bay Packers play the NFL Hammond Pros in Harrison Park? These and other amazing details, plus 164 photos, are in Curtis Vosty's new history book, Hammond, published this week by Arcadian Publishing. Vosty's a longtime Hammond resident, journalist, former park official, and attorney. Vosty will be signing copies of his book and Miles' books next Saturday, March 25th, between 11 and 3:30 p.m.
When I'm not racing at the track, I do like to take things a little bit slower. But even with my foot off the gas, I'm still driven to save lives. So if you're like me and you like hunting and fishing, you could do something to save lives too. Just say yes to being an organ donor when you get your hunting or fishing license online, or when you renew your Indiana driver's license. Join the 4 million Hoosiers who have signed up to save lives. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Hey, Indiana, let's clear the air about vaping. Glue, rat poison, paint. We all know these products contain poisons like formaldehyde, arsenic, and lead. And these are just a few of the chemicals you'll find in e-cigarette vapor. Let's clear the air, Indiana. Don't puff this stuff. Visit don'tpuffthisstuff.com to join the fight and spread the word.
You are watching the 2023 Boys Basketball Semi-State Round on the IHSA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by JED TV. We remind you that this broadcast is copyrighted by the Indiana High School Athletic Association. For the private use of our audience, any other use of this telecast or any pictures, videos, and audio without the express written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. Start of half number 2 between Kokomo and Penn, and both these teams on big-time winning streaks. Penn's won 22 straight. Kokomo's won 16 in a row. Easy wins this morning over Fort Wayne for Kokomo, 73-51. Penn defeating Hammond Central 108-70. But as we expected, Tim, both these teams now in a dogfight today, and it has been early a game of runs. It was a 6-0 and then a 9-0, but since this game's been tied at 9, it's pretty much been back and forth.
Couple of things to look out for in the second half. Finish my thought from halftime. We'll see the adjustment they decide to make. Is Gatetti going to continue to try to cut Badunga in half, or is he going to play straight behind and just go straight up? Maybe they'll bring someone in front, and then keep an eye on Burton, who has 3 fouls. This game can really shift if he picks up 4 early on here in the third quarter.
3 fouls on Burton, also 3 on Reese Bird, one of the starting guards for Kokomo. Budunga traveled. Double team game, and Kokomo turns it over on their first possession.
Yeah, right there. Durdra did a good job of going straight up. Gatetti came down from the other side. I would love to see those two sandwich him down low and then seeing if he tries to fight through that or if he's going to kick the ball out and force the Kokomo guards to make shots.
Garwood on the bounce inside. Durda missed at the rim. Bellamy had it. Now Budunga does.
Tell you what, Durda is not afraid. He hasn't converted much going up against them, but he's not afraid to get that ball in the post and go into Budunga, maybe trying to get him into foul trouble. And right
Deep
there,
in, but the rejection.
That's what I like. Just keep him in front of you. Go straight up and down, or go straight up. Try and get a hand on the ball, and maybe that's the best way to defend him. When you cut him in half, Budunga's able to seal you off, and now he has an inside position to the basket. Play straight behind him and use that length to defend him.
Loose ball foul is the 4th. Reese Bird, you saw him there. Garwood shaken up a bit, but Reese Bird was the guy who was diving as Garwood was ready to pick up the basketball. And John Peckinpah in some trouble with his guards. It's not very deep there as it is, and now one of his starters is saddled with 4.
Hardiman trying to get into the face of Burton to deny him the balls. They got Smith now, does the Kingsmen handling the basketball. Got to work hard to get to Burton as they do here.
Hardiman gambled. Garwood straight away, and we're tied at 29.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of contact there by Kirby on the arm as well. Again, as you said, in foul trouble with the guards. Kirby out there now a lot more than he played this morning. Is going to get extended minutes here in the second half.
Hardiman gets it back. Spear. Budunga catches. Down the lane, Bellamy, soft touch.
Great job there by Bellamy diving to the basket, but you do see the adjustment that Coach Rhodes made here at the half. They are just going to play straight behind Budunga. They were cutting them half in the first half, getting a hand and foot in front, hand and foot behind. Now they're just going to play straight behind and just force Budunga either to shoot over top or kick it out.
2 reasons we might see Hardiman guarding Burton. He's got that size advantage, of course, but also not as many guards for Kokomo. Garwood blocked, went right to Durda, and we're tied again.
Great job by Garwood getting in there, keeping it alive, and then Durda able to clean it up.
Just feels like this game is setting up for an instant classic. Spear on the take, knocked out into the hands of Joe Smith. Smith probing, finds Gatetti, got to the block, went for Durda, but Spear on the great recovery, thrown ahead for Kirby. DeAndre Kirby finds Spear on the trail. And even at things like that, the post entry could be more difficult. Bellamy has been the beneficiary of a good cut. Budunga, tomahawk jam with the left. And a timeout taken by John Peckinpah. The dunk by Budunga puts them back up by 2.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance.
We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance.
And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Flory Budunga has given Kokomo back the lead. That is one-handed dunk. 5:12 remaining here in this third quarter. We've still got a lot to be decided in the semi-state round of boys basketball presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. It's been a great game so far. Burton from the corner. Operates to the middle. He's surrounded. Steps through. Found Garwood. And Garwood is getting going a bit. He was quiet in the first half.
Burton got away with a couple travels there. He slid his pivot foot a couple times. But yeah, Garwood now getting going to the basket. Typically going to see him spotting up on the outside.
Throw it inside to Budunga, and on the catch he is held. And a foul will put the ball out of bounds.
That time you've seen Durda come over, try to get a hand on the ball, but they are bringing weak side help from behind for Gatete. But when you do play straight behind them and you're just trying to keep them in front, good adjustment by these Kokomo guards, and every time Badunga gets the ball, they are just diving to the basket, and he does a great job. He's got great vision. He's a great passer for a big man, and he does a good job finding the open guy.
Steps through on Durda, and his runner is good.
Really the first time we've seen him make a move like that today. Typically it's been catching the ball with his back to the basket or just getting an offensive rebound with the hard dunk.
Garwood might have got hit a bit. Fight for the rebound, and that is off Gatete, out of bounds.
So you're seeing the athleticism there for Badunga on that last possession where he's able to put the ball on the floor and he's able to move into the lane to create a shot a little bit. 2-3 zone here for Penn, something we haven't seen so far.
Rogers skip pass, Spears the shooter, as we said. Smith was in there, ball still all over the place. It's off of Smith last.
So the Kingsmen get into a little bit of foul trouble. They're going to try to adjust here defensively, maybe show something that they haven't shown much this year. Going 2-3 zone, trying to confuse Kokomo a bit. Might just be for a possession or two to try to steal one.
Halfway through this third quarter, not much has changed. Spear underneath Rogers. Badunga, no on the first attempt, and when you miss it, gather and dunk it. That's a little bit easier.
That's why it's so important not to give up second chances. Easier said than done when you're going up against that big man.
They lost Bonner underneath, but he couldn't finish. Kokomo by 4 with the basketball.
Penn stays in that 2-3 zone.
Hardiman had it poked out of his hands. It'll stay with the Wildcats.
You're going to take a look at Badunga on that last possession, throwing it down with authority.
Now Rhodes needs a timeout. 3:24 left in the third quarter. As you are watching the 2023 Boys Basketball Semi-State Round on the IHSA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Doc's Smokehouse, located at 1420 Calumet Avenue in Dyer, is the place to go for the best Southern-style barbecue in Northwest Indiana. Choose from hickory smoked brisket, pork, ribs, sausage, turkey, chicken, and wings for your main plate. Or maybe pick a couple. Don't forget the sides: potato salad, Bacardi beans, collard greens, and mac and cheese to complement your meat choice. Visit docsbarbecue.net for more information on specials and restaurant hours.
Did you know this isn't the first Hammond Central High School in Hammond, and that the Green Bay Packers play the NFL Hammond Pros in Harrison Park? These and other amazing details, plus 164 photos, are in Curtis Vosty's new history book, Hammond, published this week by Arcadian Publishing. Vosty's a longtime Hammond resident, journalist, former park official, and attorney. Vosty will be signing copies of his book and Miles' books next Saturday, March 25th, between 11 and 3:30 p.m.
4-point Kokomo lead. So they've got the basketball here on a sideline inbound. Still a long way to go, over 11 minutes of basketball left in this game.
What a difference an afternoon makes. 108 points this morning for Penn, 33 right now with 3.5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Xavion Bellamy. Kokomo, their biggest advantage since they started out up 6-0. That lead is back to that 6-point margin.
Great job there by Bellamy, creating, getting just inside the elbow, high arcing shot. Quickly back the other way, Burton can't connect on a three.
Bonner working the offensive window, and he draws the foul.
The Kingsmen just have not got going from outside. Burton, Garwood. Garwood's come up big, going to the basket here in the third quarter a little bit. But you got to get Garwood, Smith, Burton going from the outside at some point in this ball game. And you just wonder how gassed they are getting. You see a lot of guys, especially on Penn, with their hands on their knees.
Dominic Bonner able to stop the run. Kokomo lead is 5 points. Spear uses the Badunga screen. Now he gets it on a post-up. Back on for Bellamy. Gatete guarding him one-on-one. Got a hand on it. It hit Badunga's foot. And it goes back to the Kingsmen.
Yeah, Gatete was playing him on the high side. So Badunga had an angle to the basket, and as he tried to drive baseline, just lost control of the ball. Otherwise, it was probably going to be a highlight reel finish.
Seen Marcus Burton more off the basketball in this second half. So he comes to get it on the bounce. Garwood to the corner. Smith sets his feet. Organized on a three. And Garwood, I think, fighting as hard as he did, is able to draw a foul inside, and Spear pushed him from behind. It'll stay here.
And we've seen Garwood a lot here, especially in the third quarter, attacking the offensive glass, being very aggressive, whether getting a rebound or just keeping the ball alive for teammates. He's known more as a shooter, but he's doing a good job of mixing it up in the paint.
Burton tried to alter that shot. Gatete, hard work, put the hard hat on there, and gets the bucket.
And that's what you need to do. So much attention going to Burton. That ball's coming off the rim. Gatete doing a good job of seeing it, as Badunga was nowhere to be found as he was giving help on Burton.
Trey Miller working off the ball for a moment, comes to guard Hardiman. Hardiman gave it right to Smith. Numbers with Burton. Smith by himself, and we're back to a 1-point game.
That's what Penn wants to try to do here in the second half. They got to turn Kokomo over, and they got to try to make this a little more of an up-tempo game.
Spear goes to the left. Smith went down easily. Fight for the rebound, and Badunga called for the foul.
Once again, Smith on the floor, always trying to draw contact, draw offensive foul. Did not get the call there. And then we're going to get the second foul of the game against Badunga. Nothing to be concerned about with 2 fouls and just about a minute and a half to go here in the third quarter.
Kokomo only called for 5 fouls in the first half. They've been called for 4 in this quarter. Burton to the right. Garwood got him organized. On a three.
Garwood loves the right side of the floor between the baseline and the wing. He rarely misses from that spot.
8-0 run for Penn. Bellamy, 1 foot in the air, ties this up at 41.
Yeah, off his left foot, little off-balance shot. We've seen a couple now. Great shots by Bellamy here in the third quarter. Other guys starting to step up for both teams.
Some of the folks rise to their feet. Marcus Burton handling.
Going to a 1-4 low set. Now they're going to clear it out on the right side. Let Burton attack.
In against Badunga. Did enough to alter the shot. Now has the basketball. Off for Spear. Ran right through Smith. No call. Rogers. Wildcats up 2.
Whole lot of contact. The heady Smith always trying to draw an offensive foul. He got run over. Shocked there was no call there.
Burton now with 10 seconds. Tries the right side again. How did he score it? Doesn't matter. We're tied at 43. Spear with the ball. He'll try one before the quarter expires. And he gives the Wildcats the lead heading into the fourth quarter. 46-43. Kokomo, 3 completes. And we've got an instant classic brewing for Michigan City.
Inspired by touch, by play, by listening and laughter. Inspired by family gatherings and one-on-one conversations. Inspired by long walks, long lives, and lives simply lived well. Inspired by compassion, by healing, by grace and strength. What inspires us at Franciscan Health is you. Franciscan Health, inspiring health.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. we see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Well, folks, this has been an outstanding basketball game, but what you just saw happen on the floor there with whatever that is, there's clothes coming out of it now. I mean, credit to Craig Shaman and company here at Michigan City. Oh, my goodness. Well, we've got an outstanding ball game here. And, oh, man. I wish we can have a moment of brevity. That's too good. That is too good.
We interrupt this entertainment for a basketball game, if you guys don't mind.
How dare they try to play a semi-state championship three-point game starting the fourth quarter. How about that shot, Tim, by Shane Spear? That sets this stage for an unbelievable final fourth quarter.
Yeah, Spear coming up big here in the third quarter. He started out strong early this morning. As a nice backdoor play there as Burton, 3 possessions in a row, going into the big man. Can't connect on 2 or 3 of them.
It's a good, strong rebound, too, by Carson Rogers. Played a good portion of the game earlier against Fort Wayne, but didn't play a lot in the first half. Has come on here with the foul trouble of Bird. Bellamy, that was a circus shot if it would have gone. Trey Miller, the rebound.
Bellamy's done a good job of creating his own shot here in the second half. Nearly pulled off another one there.
It was almost like trying to throw it into a bucket from on top of a skyscraper if that would have gone perfectly into the hoop. Smith on the attack. Badunga, another block.
Yeah, Badunga coming over from the weak side and just reaching around and knocking that ball away. And now Spear's going to lose it out of bounds, and it's going to go right back to the Kingsmen.
A great call on the sideline by Deion Smith, the official. It was not a very smart pass to throw that to Spear. He had 3 things. The defender, the half-court line, and the sideline there that made that difficult.
He talked about Burton not playing with the ball as much here in the second half, and that's credit to Kokomo's defense. Hardiman's been on him, in his face, forcing him to become more of an off guard here.
Nice look by Burton, and Trey Miller takes advantage.
And the junior averages 3.9 points per game, has had to step up a lot here in game number 2 after not playing much this morning.
Not on the same page. Rogers and Spear again, they turn it over.
Yeah, Spear was covered the entire way. The only option he had there was to plant his left foot and try to go back door. But as you said, not on the same page with Rogers. And now Rogers is going to head to the bench as Reese Beard will check back in.
John Peckinpah, 4th year as a head man. A lot of years on the opposite sideline, 42 of them for Al Rhodes. Trying to get their teams over the hump into a state championship game next Saturday. Right around, a little bit earlier than this, but right around this time. Deep one, Smith. Tipped out. Bellamy had it. Who's this off of? Well, that became an easy discussion. Off of Miller. And it's Kokomo basketball.
Yeah, I believe it was off Penn anyway. I think the ball was going to be off Joe Smith, kicking it going towards the sideline. But then Miller touched it, trying to save it, as I think he saw the same thing.
Well, this has happened here in the 4th, and it's Kokomo still leading by 1. Spear stepping into a 3. Badunga, an offensive rebound.
Good job getting inside position was Gatete. He had a good check out, but the ball just fell right into the hands of the big man.
Spear out for Bellamy. We haven't seen Beard since he picked up that 4th foul early in the 3rd quarter. I wonder when John Peckinpah might bring him back in. Badunga on the inside is fouled. And that is only the 2nd foul called against Penn in this second half.
Thought we might get a travel there by Badunga as the help came from the weak side, but instead enough contact to draw a foul.
Foul goes against Joe Garwood. That's his second. Wodunga on the bounce here for Xavion Bellamy. Beard just came back in. First time we've seen him since early in the third, and Gatete called for the foul. Battling inside against Flory Wodunga.
Just the third foul, team foul against the Kingsmen here in the second half. And that was one when Wodunga got inside position as Gatete was cutting him in half from the high side and smartly did a good job of wrapping him up.
That's his third foul now on Josh Gatete. Wodunga, Hardiman, good shot fake. The lane opens for him and he lays it in.
Wodunga did a good job of getting his body into Gatete to help open that lane a little more.
Kokomo by 3. Wildcat fans hoping for a run here. Needs to continue with the defensive end. They need a stop. Penn trying to get back within one or tie the game.
Kokomo's been in control about the last 5-6 minutes of this ball game, maintaining somewhat of a lead.
Burton lost the dribble, finds some help here with Trey Miller. Smith on the bounce. Garwood comes around the corner. Tough shot on the baseline. Wodunga the rebound.
We've seen Garwood try to create a little more for himself here than he did this morning. Haven't seen him being able to get free on the outside where he's so deadly from beyond the arc.
Spears slips to the rim, Wodunga the follow.
Great job by Spear, using his body, patiently getting to the rim. And that's really your best offense sometimes. Just get the ball up there off the backboard, off the rim, and let Wodunga go and get it.
Okay, a little dramatic, but it's really hard to count the ways you can pay, but it's easy to make the ways you pay count. Sentier Connect links your Sentier checking and savings accounts. So the more you use your debit card, however you use your debit card, the higher the interest rate you receive on the funds in your savings account. Begin a better way to save. Sentier Bank.
Blocked underneath by Engsler. Oh, knocks down a three. And heading right to the rim. Smith with the smooth reverse. That was beautiful. Mitchell launches and hits a three. Elsie Mitchell is locked in. Indiana's relentless attack continues.
Just under 4.5 to play here in this 2023 boys basketball semi-state round, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. And this one, Tim, has been as advertised.
It's been a good one. It's been back and forth for the most part of the game. Kokomo's been in control about the last 5-6 minutes. In terms of just maintaining a lead, Penn's got to go on a little bit of a run here. As you get Gatete going to the basket, looks like a clean block up high. Let's see what the ref indicates. I didn't see if he indicated body or on the arm, but either way, Gatete will go to line shooting two.
Good job by Gatete to attack there. Had that lane open, and some guys really got scared with Wodunga sitting in the lane. Gatete on the season, 74% from the line.
You've seen this Penn team not be very afraid to challenge him. Burton has gotten into him a few times. You saw Gatete there. But even though you're not afraid, it's still very hard to convert. And he's just able to alter so many shots, and that's changed Burton's game quite a bit. He just needs to think about pulling up a little bit more as he did in the first half. But they're having a hard enough time even getting him the ball. Hardiman all over him.
Timeout taken by Reese Beard here, a 30-second timeout. And Al Rhodes used his timeout to set up that full court pressure. We'll see what Kokomo does out of theirs, leading by 4.
Doc's Smokehouse, located at 1420 Calumet Avenue in Dyer, is the place to go for the best Southern-style barbecue in Northwest Indiana. Choose from hickory smoked brisket, pork, ribs, sausage, turkey, chicken, and wings for your main plate. Or maybe pick a couple. Don't forget the sides: potato salad, Bacardi beans, collard greens, and mac and cheese to complement your meat choice. Visit docsbarbecue.net for more information on specials and restaurant hours.
Did you know this isn't the first Hammond Central High School in Hammond, and that the Green Bay Packers play the NFL Hammond Pros in Harrison Park? These and other amazing details, plus 164 photos, are in Curtis Vosty's new history book, Hammond, published this week by Arcadian Publishing. Vosty is a longtime Hammond resident, journalist, former park official, and attorney. Vosty will be signing copies of his book and Miles' books next Saturday, March 25th, between 11 and 3:30 p.m.
Two timeouts left for Kokomo, one for Penn. 3:58 left on the clock. Wildcats by 4.
Looks like a little 1-2-2 pressure now for Penn. They're going to look to trap, speed up this Kokomo team a little bit. Good
what a rejection.
There.
Durna, Burton, open floor, 2-point game.
Durna using his long extension with those long arms to start that fast break. And that's what you need to do. You need to get Burton out in the run. Now it's a little extended 1-2-2, three-quarter court pressure for the Kingsmen.
Beard over the top for Spear. Hardiman, who just had that shot blocked. Backdoor, Beard at the rim. It worked like a pass off the backboard. And Badunga the dunk.
As I was saying before the break, just get that ball up off the backboard, off the rim, and let Badunga go up and get it.
This is deflected. And last touched by Burton, at least according to Christian Flores. Al Rhodes can't believe it. Mar angle impossible to tell. We're on the opposite side of the floor.
Al Rhodes right there in front of it, but of course he's going to want to call himself. You got to give Christian Flores the benefit of the doubt. He was right on top of it as well.
3 minutes left, 4-point game. Beard in some trouble. He almost walked. Off to Bellamy now, Spear. Back for Beard in the corner. That was tipped. Up ahead is Marcus Burton, and that's the 5th foul on Reese Beard. He is out of the game.
Well, this is the kind of pressure I thought we might see out of the Kingsmen start of the game. I thought it might come out of their man-to-man defense, where you really get after and pressure the guards and get the Kokomo backcourt on their heels where they can't make an effective post entry. And then you turn them over, and that's going to start your fast break. And that's what Penn is trying to do here the last 3 minutes of this ball game. Trailing by 4, still anyone's game.
I assume we're going to see a lot of Marcus Burton taking shots or creating wide open ones for others.
He's running off his screens down low with Hardiman all over him.
Tete cut off. Burton to the free throw line. Pulls the trigger. Badunga the rebound.
That's the game I like to see out of Burton. Just get to about the mid-range game. They also got to try and get Garwood open on the outside. I'd like to see him run some sets for him.
Gatete jumped it perfectly. Big possession for Penn. Burton blocked, saved, but Hardiman was already standing out of bounds. With 2:10 to play.
DeAndre Kirby on the block there did a good job of just keeping Burton in front of him, which is no easy task.
This Kokomo defense, of course, keying on Marcus Burton. Gatete gets the inbound. And a foul off the ball. I think they're holding on to Burton. They're going to get Hardiman, yes. And that's the 7th foul, which puts an 89% shooter, Marcus Burton, at the line for a 1-and-1.
And credit this defense of Kokomo all night, doing a good job, taking away the 2 best players on this Penn team, taking away Garwood. He hasn't got going from the outside. And then Hardiman, who got the tough task of face guarding Burton pretty much this entire game, chasing him around the floor, and has done a pretty good job of making someone else on Penn at least handle the basketball where Burton usually likes to operate with the ball in his hands, he's become more of an off guard today, running around a lot of baseline screens, trying to get free on the perimeter.
2-point game, 2 minutes to play.
1-2-2 pressure here for the Kingsmen. You're going to see them really get after and trap these guards, try and get their hands on passes, deflect the ball before it can get into the big Badunga.
Kirby in the corner. Hardiman is fouled, and it's Burton who reached in. And I think that's number 4, correct? On Burton it is.
You are correct. He wasn't trying to get one there. He was just trying to have active hands, trying to get a deflection on the basketball, and he got a little too much arm. So we'll see how the Hall of Famer, Coach Al Rhodes, plays this the last minute 48 of the ball game. Not really a guy you want to take out defensively, but you may have to if this gets into a foul game.
Rogers to Hardiman, some guys who haven't played a ton in this game being asked to handle it at the most important time with Reese Beard fouled out. Bellamy steps into the free throw line. Almost banked it. Badunga, another offensive rebound, able to keep the possession alive.
That's been Bellamy's game right there at that left elbow in the second half. It's so hard, so difficult to keep Badunga off the offensive glass.
Rogers is wide open. He blew the layup. Badunga the follow. Wouldn't go. Second effort, yes.
You know, you can't give up second and third chances. I preach that all the time, but easier said than done with Badunga lurking around the rim. And now a lot of contact as Burton drives to the basket. And
he drew a foul.
Yeah, he'll head to the free throw line as that's the 8th team foul on Kokomo, so it's going to be a 1-and-1.
Burton, who just made 2 in this opportunity. These 2 are obviously crucial with 1:02 to play.
Just one timeout left for Coach Al Rhodes.
Front end for Burton. As you said, one timeout for Al Rhodes, only 2 for John Peckinpah. So if you're Al Rhodes and Penn, you have to try to be as aggressive as possible on the defensive end, because if Kokomo runs 30, 40 seconds, you start putting yourself in a tough situation if they were to score.
And you're going to be very aggressive here early on, try and get a trap, force a steal, and then pick your point to foul. Garwood's going to get one there as Bellamy drives to the basket.
And that's their 5th, still 1 more to give.
So you're going to be very aggressive here. Go in hard for a hard trap. Try to get a jump ball. Be very aggressive with it because you still have 1 more to give. And then start to pick out your guy. I'm sure it's already been discussed. The Penn players all know which number they want to try to foul in this situation.
And we talked Kokomo's free throw shooting struggles in the game earlier today. 57% as a team. Spears in trouble. Got away from the double team. 40 seconds now. Badunga. And he's fouled from behind.
And I think he may have been called for a travel there. That foul not come. But well, that's a guy you want to foul. But right now you just had to foul anybody. You had to get that 6th. I'm surprised it took that long. We'll see how long they go here before they wrap up somebody. Should do Badunga right now.
He scores, they fouled him, and a chance for 3 for Flory Badunga.
Poor execution right there by Penn. 1, that's the guy you would like to put at the free throw line, just 58%. 2, if you don't foul him, he's going to do that. So that's a guy who should have been wrapped up right away. Worst case scenario, he scores and he gets to shoot a free throw.
Badunga rims out. 4-point game. Penn's got to go quickly. Marcus Burton. Does he have some magic in him? Drives inside. Puts it up and in. Timeout Al Rhodes with 28.9.
What a play with Badunga all over him. I don't know how he released that ball and got it in the basket. But that's why Marcus Burton, part of the reason why he's headed to Notre Dame, because he can make plays like that.
28.9, we're going to stay here as you see the big-time bucket by Burton. Penn is now out of timeouts. That was their final. They cannot stop the clock unless there is a whistle for a foul or out-of-bounds travel, anything that would be normal, of course. 2 timeouts still in the back pocket of John Peckinpah. Both teams are now in the bonus. Still a 1-1 on both sides. How much time can you afford to go off the clock here, Tim, with 28.9 remaining? You can trap, obviously, and still go for a steal. But there gets a point in time when you have to foul because, again, the strategy could be that Kokomo, not a great free throw shooting team.
Well, because they're such a poor free throw shooting team, you may decide to try to foul right away. Typically what I would like to do in this situation, a lot of coaches will do, is there's enough time to wait to see if you can get a 10-second call, see if you can get a trap and a steal here in the backcourt. If you can't, as soon as they cross half court, you got to foul. And the advantage for Penn, you can foul pretty much whoever has the ball as soon as they cross half court because there isn't a very good free throw shooter out there for Kokomo at all. So you're not going to be in a situation where you have a guy like, say, Burton with the ball and you have to foul him. So try to get a 10-second call. Try to get a trap and a steal here. As soon as the ball crosses half court, that's when I foul in this situation.
Carson Rogers in here to Shane Spear. He's in trouble in the corner, and he's out of bounds. It's a turnover, and Penn didn't even have to give the foul. They've got it back down 2 with 25.2. And they can tie or take the lead with a bucket.
That's the advantage you have when you don't need to you can foul anybody. Just be very aggressive. You could trap all out. If you foul, who cares? But sometimes that happens if you turn the ball over.
Marcus Burton, 20 seconds now. They bring 2 guys at him. Gives it up. Gatete had to come get it. Drives, dishes. Durda inside. Blocked from behind. Rogers, the rejection. Spear is fouled. And he will shoot. Free throws the other way. The defense of the Wildcats holding strong in the final seconds.
You know, you could say a lot. It's a good look. He gets the ball underneath the basket. He is going up against Badunga, and it's hard to get a shot off in that situation. You would love to see the ball in Smith's hands or Garwood once Burton had to give it up. But it's hard to argue when you get an opportunity to get a shot near the block. Big free throws here, especially because you don't have a timeout. If he's able to make both, being Spear pretty much seals this one. But obviously, if he misses one, and it's still a 1-1 right here, plenty of time for Penn to go down and get a good look.
And he hits a big-time free throw to earn the second on a miss here. But John Peckinpah called a timeout right now to make sure his team's on the same page. Not yet.
It's always a debate. Do you call the timeout knowing the other coach doesn't have one?
Big-time free throws by the senior. And now John Peckinpah will burn his second to last timeout. And Kokomo can taste it a bit now.
Kokomo was in the semi-state final a year ago, lost by 2 to Chesterton. All year they've had one goal, to take that next step, get back to the state finals. But now with no timeouts, Al Rhodes and the Penn Kingsmen trail by 4. Want to get the ball, attacking the basket quick. I mean, even if you go down and make a quick 3, you can't stop it. You get to your best bets, try to get a 3, obviously, and draw a foul. But if you're Kokomo, that's what you're talking about right now. You know, they go and spot up for a 3. You completely back off, let them shoot, ball goes through the rim. You shouldn't even have to inbound it.
That strategy for Penn feels like attack the basket and almost hope for a foul. And a 3-point play opportunity or shooting 2 that would stop the clock.
You get to the basket, you get fouled, miss the free throw, get a tap in. You know, that gives you an opportunity there. So we'll see if that's what they try to do, get the ball in the hands of Burton and just get him going hard towards the rim.
Only timeout left in this game is in the pocket of John Peckinpah for Kokomo. Gatete will start it. Durda's there with Burton.
If I'm Kokomo, though, and they get going to the basket, you just let them go. Don't touch them.
Garwood 3. Hit it! Clock ticking. Still running, and Kokomo says, we're going to let it go because we're going to state.
You saw Garwood there on that 3, fall to the ground to try to sell a foul, but Coach Al Rhodes had to use some timeouts early in the ball game to stop a run, and that's where he couldn't call one there. What Penn is upset about right now, when that ball went through the net, there may have been about 5.3, 5.4 seconds on the clock, so you would think you would have to inbound the basketball, but they didn't have to. The refs didn't force them to do so, and they just ran out of time.
What an unbelievable basketball game. And you're right, it went through at about 6, but that ball's then bouncing on the ground, and
typically
you
wait
not to pick it up.
And typically as an official, you would wait till the player picks it up before you start your count.
Yeah, there's usually a second or two grace period, yeah.
So in this situation, I mean, I could see you're just upset, you're emotional, but I think the officials handled that 100% correctly. And Kokomo, that's great coaching there by Coach Peckinpah. I talked about during that last time out. Once that ball goes in, there's no reason to inbound that ball. Let it bounce. Ball game over. Great effort there by Garwood, getting a shot up, doing what he had to do to fall to the ground. Just never know. Maybe you fool an official. Maybe you got grazed, and maybe you do get that call. So it was executed about as well as they could. But not having those timeouts, that's why you always want to, and who am I to say, I'm talking about a Hall of Fame coach down here, but it's always nice. You always want to have a timeout in your pocket. But he had to strategically use them throughout the game, and he did, to stop these runs for Kokomo, just so he can have a shot here in the last few seconds.
The only other thing I think that Penn could have done is try to get a delay game warning, pick up the basketball and see if the officials would give it to you. And kind of schooled as an official to sort of ignore that given the circumstances and understanding of what Penn would have been trying to do.
And that's an old school thing. You used to see that where they would pick up the ball and maybe you would throw it to about row 5 into the stands to force a call. But as you said, and Sam, you are an official, for those people listening that don't know, you don't see that so much anymore. So you're saying that's more of a point of emphasis, end of the game, where they just kind of let that go now.
Yeah, it's one of those unwritten rules as a ref. You just say to yourself, hey, there's 5 seconds left. I know what you're trying to do. I'm not going to let you sort of bend the rules and try to benefit yourself. So they didn't do it, obviously, so we didn't have that potential controversy. But we had an unbelievable basketball game, and we had a ton of fun bringing it to you. I can guarantee you that. It was great work by our crew. A couple reminders before we go. This broadcast is copyrighted by the IHSAA, the Indiana High School Athletic Association, for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast, any pictures, videos, and audio without the expressed written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. This has been the 2023 Boys Basketball Semi-State Round on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and powered by Jet TV. For our entire crew, under Ben Tamara's direction, Nick Hedrick, Josh Beaudry, Rob Aguirre, Sonny Santana this morning as well. My partner, Coach Tim Fedler. I'm Sam Michael, saying we hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Whether or not you enjoyed the outcome, it was a ton of fun bringing it to you. This has been a presentation of the IHSAA TV Champions Network.